The question here is, you guys pointed out the part where you need to recycle the data, get rid of the data. In the nonprofit industry where you're dealing with clients, those who are sick, and there is an incident management, I think if I remember, according to the NDIS, and that's the government authority in Australia, you need to minimum maintain a data of about 10 years. And everything is in contact, which is basically your client, the patient you're basically looking after in an aged care, or is also a contact. So contact really becomes a public read-write object. How do you deal with the data masking? Because there is integration between the platforms. So there is a CRM passing the data to the incident management software. And then there is this shift management software, which is sending the employees to the shift so they can look after the patient. And then the data is going to the financial software that's generating the invoices. How does the data mask work there? And how do you go about where every piece of information is important? What are some of the basics that you can apply on any to pick up the less useful data so that can be
I think one of the things that today, actually, while Saurabh looking for some information, I think one of the key things to look at is classifying all your fields. Go through and classify your field so you know what data you have in which fields. Now, one of the things that to do that is actually quite tricky, where you actually have, Salesforce makes it a little bit harder to go through and actually tag all of your fields as being different class types. But there's a product from Own Backup called Own Backup Secure, which is an amazingly powerful product. It allows you to actually classify this data very simply, very quickly. And then what you can do, as Saurabh said before, you classify each of the fields at a different level. So you may need to keep first name, last name, but you don't need to keep maybe the full information about that particular person for that period of time. And I do a lot of work with not-for-profits, and actually I give a discount for assessments for not-for-profits. I've got 6 not-for-profits lined up next in a queue for them doing assessments. So I'm happy to help out that sort of stuff as well. But Saurabh, let you get back to what you would answer with this as well.
Absolutely. Right. If I understand what you asked, one part of it was, if it's masked, it will break integration because there are downstream systems that are...
Their dependencies on the integration.
Okay. So what we have seen, and this is, so I'm talking sandbox to sandbox, right? Masking data in a Salesforce sandbox, and it's connecting to some, I don't know, Oracle sandbox, for example, in the back, right? And that integration breaks. So we saw that exact use case for one of the insurance companies in Australia. And basically, you've seen this drop down, it shows a bunch of things. Last one is Apex. Is we are the only product today in the world that actually does this. So you can have masking that is almost like an encryption. You can have a predictive masking. So you know that John would always be A115, whatever, right? You could do that sort of predictive masking, and you could apply it across 2 separate technologies. So you can build something similar in your ERP system, for example, so that you know that the masked values will always match, because everything else is a random or regex or something. And that is done primarily to just update real data with dummy data. So it's obfuscated. But in Apex, we package an interface class, which you can implement, and you can apply whatever custom logic you need to do there.
And actually, one thing as well, when it comes to Nisha, when you do integration, you shouldn't be necessarily using the actual field level fields as the key. You should use the actual Salesforce row ID maybe as the actual key value.
Right. So the use case for our other customer in Australia is really about testing. They want to make sure that the data migration happened correctly, but they don't want to expose real values. Is that, Nisha, you're saying, is that your use case?
Yes. That was one of my concerns. But thank you so much. You guys both have covered a lot of my concerns in the area where I wanted to know. Thank you so much. I would be very much interested in the next session whenever you guys plan it. This has been truly valuable. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you very much. You're very welcome.